we've got to make promises.
Right. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah. And check that. And that's perfect, brilliant.
Thank
Thank you
you
so much, thank you.
Hello. Hello everybody, welcome. I'm sorry we're running a little bit on the late side. But I just want to say a couple of things at the start. I mean, one is that, Jeremy was coming here today to help me politically, and I just thought, well, what I'd much rather do, because there's one dominating issue for me relating to healthcare, I just thought, well, I'd ask those who I knew had been involved in the campaign as it affects Shropshire, because Shropshire is the only part where your responsibility will be. Yeah, because that's where we get our secondary care and tertiary care. So we've got to do back to this. So what I thought we'd do is we'd let everybody really say what they think for you. Okay. And then perhaps you could respond. Okay. Clearly you can't make huge commitments at this stage, but it's an important issue. Just a brief picture of where we are. And we depend on Shropshire, probably 3/4 of Newtown depends on Shropshire for its secondary care. And we know that in Shropshire the current structure is unsustainable. There are 2 district general hospitals with 2 full-on accident and emergency centres, they're struggling. And the proposal, the pretty firm proposal, is to create 1 emergency centre, the 2 hospitals in Mersey, 1 trust, with 1 new emergency centre at either of those hospitals or at a greenfield site in between, surrounded by a network of urgent care centres. Now it may be that there'd be a case for such a centre here, that would be the responsibility of the Welsh Government and the local health board, but the positioning of the emergency centre is absolutely crucial. If it was Telford, it would be totally disastrous for the whole of Newtown, to this constituency. We wanted to be in Shropshire, or at least very close to Shropshire, on a new greenfield site. That's the structure of where we are. And there's a huge number of people right across this county who are desperately worried about where we might go, because we've been outnumbered in the past. We had a similar debate about a new obstetrics, paediatrics centre, 40 million, which you will have sanctioned.
Complaints and we're very concerned about what's going on here. This came about because, first of all, they removed the strokes unit from Shrewsbury. This is when we found out that things were changing. They moved it without any public engagement. It was moved very quickly. It was moved as a temporary basis for a few weeks. It's still there. We're now nearly 2 years down the road. That's a long way. If you're having a stroke, you cannot get to the stroke unit within the golden hour. It's literally impossible. So that causes concerns. Then we found out that they were now looking to move A&E and possibly up to Telford. So we've been fighting that. We've done a big petition. We've got a huge petition still ongoing. And we're very, very concerned that they move it. So now, as Glyn's just spoken to you, they've talked about changing things so that we've got possibly an emergency unit, which would be sort of your A&E, but you could only go into that through ambulance and being sent there that way. And then you'd have the urgent care, which would be more just where you could go yourself. And then if you were moved on, you'd go up. So
You've got Telford.
Can I just bring John? John, what's your position now, John, in the CHC?
Nothing.
I think John was the chairman of the CHC and Roy was the chief executive of the local CHC. I asked him to come along.
Well, actually, with both chairs, I was the chair of Montgomeryshire and then I became
Oh, that's it, sorry.
chair of the board in Cardiff.
I knew I did one thing wrong tonight, and that's it.
Roy was my successor.
That's it, yeah.
But these figures are derived from Google Maps, so it's distance and time as you'd expect, and those are